Hello everyone, my name is Katarina. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I have for you a Christmas card number 3. I will be creating a frame along the edges of my cardstock using standalone stamps. In this case, stamps with the flower poinsettia. However, you can do this with many other stamps. For example, I did not even realize I did this technique in my previous video with the pine needles frame. I just really love this technique as it gives you another option of using your stamps. The list of all the products I will be using you can find over on my blog. The link is in the description. I will just move directly into making the card. For the stamping, I'm going to be using a stamping tool. Especially because the cardstock is very textured, I had to stamp multiple times. As you can see, I'm using the Minimisty. I have a bigger stamping tool from Tim Holtz, but I only use it when I really have to. Here the small one was working just fine. I started with a greeting, and even though I stamped it multiple times, I still had few gaps in the stamping. What I do in such cases, I just use a black marker and I fill it up, which worked very well. You don't see any gaps. Next, I stamp the poinsettias. I'm using the big stamp with the 2 flowers as well as the smaller single flower. And also I will be adding few leaves and the berries. I started with the big stamp and I stamped 4 times in each of the corners of the panel. Also, just like with the greeting, I had to stamp multiple times, but I edited it out because it's a little bit boring. After I stamped the big flowers, I stamped the smaller poinsettias and the additional images. This type of stamping requires to reposition the stamps each time you stamp. That means you can either clean the stamps every single time, or you can use an acetate beneath the stamp as you are repositioning it. As I'm doing here, you can move it around without cleaning the stamp. Christina Werner shared this tip on one of her recent videos, and I thought it was a great idea because when I cleaned the stamp with a cleaning wipe and I dried it with a paper towel, even though I thought it was completely dry, it wasn't. And I stained the cardstock a bit. Luckily, in the end, you hardly see it. You can also see me here using the masks. I had to start using them after I stamped the first 2 big flowers as the images were overlapping. To create the mask, I stamped the image onto the post-it note and then I cut it out with my scissors. So the stamping is done. I think it looks very nice, even just as black and white. And I was considering leaving it like that, but then I used a watercolor cardstock, therefore I decided to add some color. Initially, when I came up with the idea for this card, I thought of doing a messy watercoloring, covering the whole panel with paint. However, since I really like the black and white aspect of it, I decided to do a simple watercoloring and not to paint every flower and leave some of them unpainted. The flowers I painted red and I painted most of the berries. I painted them blue and I also painted most of the leaves. For the leaves, I used the paint Hooker's Green, which I bought separately. It wasn't included in the watercolor set. I will play some music to show you at least some of the watercoloring and I will be back once I'm done. So the painting is finished. I think the idea leaving some of the flowers without any color was a good one. And if you like this idea as well, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to paint every stamped image, feel free to do so. There is no right or wrong. To finish up the card, I added the panel on top of the card base. I was thinking adding some embellishments like sequins or Nuvo drops, but I like the clean look, so I didn't add any embellishments and left it as it is. If you haven't seen my previous card where I did something similar just with heat embossing and no masking, make sure you check it out. It's a quick video for YouTube Shorts. Or if you feel like it, you can watch a playlist that I created with all of my Christmas cards. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video with another Christmas card idea.